Hello YouTube, this is Corman22 here, back with another 100-point squadron build for Star Wars X-Wing miniatures. Tonight we focus more on a strength in numbers build, or a swarm build. This is my Obsidian Squadron build, consisting of 5 TIE fighters, all of them different pilots, with the last one being a common pilot. Again, like with most other swarm builds, the strength of this build is strength in numbers. The leader, rather I should point out who is piloting these TIEs. The leader of this group is Howlrunner, who is also the leader of Obsidian Squadron, followed by Dark Curse, Night Beast, Wing Gundark, and finally an Obsidian Squadron pilot. Now again, like with most swarm builds, the idea behind this build is strength in numbers. So by picking the cheapest ships possible and overwhelming your enemies with sheer numbers alone, very few upgrades, and yeah, that's the idea of a swarm build. All of their abilities kind of complement one another, especially Howlrunner's. Howlrunner's ability is very crucial in assisting her wingmates, her squadron. So basically, if she goes, then, well, the squadron's kind of hampered a bit. But again, these guys are able to handle themselves on their own. So not so much synergy. There's a bit of synergy, but these guys are able to hold their own by themselves, especially with the upgrades I've given them. So here are the ships. Here are their pilots. Let's look at the stats. So a small build in terms of upgrades, but most of these guys are elite pilots, so they have abilities to help for that. I've also given them defensive modifications to help out with their being able to last longer in a fight. Excuse me. And Howlrunner is the only one of these ships that is able to take on an upgrade, so that also helps in keep down the squadron point cost if you want to go for a swarm build. So we'll start with the squadron leader of this build, who is none other than Howlrunner. Howlrunner has a pilot skill of 8. She flies the Sinar Fleet System's TIE Fighter. She has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 0. She can take on the focus, barrel roll, and evade actions. She costs 18 squadron points, so for an elite pilot, she's actually quite cheap. I mean, she's cheaper than a green squadron pilot, that much is certain. And she's able to take on an elite pilot skill upgrade. Her ability states, when another friendly ship at range 1 is attacking with its primary weapon, it may reroll one attack die. So this is why Howlrunner is kind of, she's kind of the game changer of the group. Her ability allows her wingmates to reroll any attack dice any results that they don't like, as long as they're in the range 1 of her. So the squadron does benefit a lot from being staying as close to her as possible, but yeah, with the upgrades I've given the other ships, it'll help them to survive longer in the battle without Howlrunner's help. So, for her first upgrade, I've decided to go for a hull upgrade, which increases your hull value by 1. So now, Howlrunner now has a hull value of 4. Howlrunner has a hull value of 4, which allows her to take 1 extra hit than the most typical TIE fighters, and it'll ensure that she lasts that 1 extra hit point could mean the difference between life and death. So, yeah, more defensive power to her, just in case her agility value doesn't save her. And then for her elite pilot skill, I've chosen Swarm Tactics, which is a common elite pilot skill for elite TIE fighters. And this states, at the start of the combat phase, choose 1 friendly ship at range 1. Until the end of this phase, treat the chosen ship as if its pilot skill were equal to yours. So, because Howlrunner has a pilot skill of 8, if any one of her TIEs, her squadron, is within range 1 of her, she can choose one of those ships, and they will be also a pilot skill of 8 for the combat phase. So that means Howlrunner and that extra wingman will be able to attack first, and then of course the other guys will attack. After those two have gone. So it's good if you want to try and overpower the enemy, again with strength and being attacking with a two-pronged attack from either angle or from the front, 2 behind, so on and so forth. So now we go on to her right wingman, sorry, and that is Dark Curse. Dark Curse has a pilot skill of 6. He also flies the Sinar Fleet System's TIE Fighter. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 0. He can take on the focus, barrel roll, and evade actions. He costs 16 squadron points, and he cannot carry any upgrades in his upgrade bar. His ability states, when defending, ships attacking you cannot spend focus tokens or reroll attack die. So with Dark Curse cancels out focus tokens when he's defending, and he also cancels out abilities like Lone Wolf or Predator, or any upgrade or ability that allows the player to reroll attack die. I'm not sure if this also applies to lock-ons, because lock-ons you have to spend the lock-on to reroll the dice. It could apply. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments below if you think if that's the case or not. Well, yeah. For his mod upgrade, I went because I'm a little low. I only have like 2 hull upgrade cards. I decided to go for a shield upgrade instead, which increases your shield value by 1. So one way or another, Dark Curse, regardless if you have a hull or shield upgrade, the shield upgrade will increase Dark Curse's defense value by 1. So that means you'll have 3 hull and 1 shield. This could be pretty useful if you're defending from a critical hit, because even if you're attacking a shielded ship and they get 1 critical, it doesn't matter if it's a hit or a critical hit. The shield will absorb the damage and you won't suffer any critical damage. So that's kind of the advantage behind a shield upgrade. I mean, the hull upgrade for 1 point cheaper gives you 1 extra hull point, which is cool. But with a shield upgrade, for that 1 extra point more, you're protected from crits from that 1 hit, for that 1 turn, or that 1 attack. So, yeah. Now for her left wingman, for Howlrunner's left wingman, I've chosen Night Beast. Night Beast has a pilot skill of 5. He flies the Sinar Fleet System's TIE Fighter. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 0. He can take on the Focus, Barrel Roll, and Evasion action. He costs 15 Squadron points, and he cannot take any upgrades in his upgrade bar. His ability states, after executing a green maneuver, you may perform a free focus action. So, with Night Beast, green maneuvers are mandatory if you want to kind of get that free focus action, because that'll allow you to perform another evasion action or a barrel roll action on top of that evasion, because the evasion will count as a free action. So that means it's not counted as your perform action during your action phase. So you perform a green maneuver, you get the free action, and then you're able to take on an evade or a barrel roll, which can be useful for getting that extra defense value, or getting into a better position to attack, or getting out of your enemy's line of fire if you're at range 1. Like with Dark Curse, I've also given Night Beast a shield upgrade, which will increase his shield value by 1. Again, the shield will help protect him from criticals. It gives him that extra hit point, so he'll also have 3 hull and 1 shield, and it'll also protect him from that 1 critical hit that does manage to slip by, because shields absorb crits just as like regular hits. Now, for the 4th elite pilot in this build, I've chosen Wing Gundark. Wing Gundark has a pilot skill of 5 like Night Beast. He also flies the Sinar Fleet System's TIE Fighter. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 0. He can take on the Focus, Barrel Roll, and Evade actions. He also costs 15 Squadron points, and cannot take any actions in his action bar. His ability states, when attacking at range 1, you may change one of your hit results to a critical result. So, like, so Wing Gundark is probably going to be the one that's staying close to as close to Howlrunner as possible, because he will benefit from his her ability, and his natural ability will allow him to change one of his hit results to a critical. So he's attacking at range 1. He's also at range 1 of Howlrunner. Howlrunner grants him that 1 reroll, and if that reroll happens to be a hit, then Wing Gundark's ability allows him to change that hit into a critical. And yeah, and plus he'll also get that attack value bonus for attacking at range 1, so that means his attack value will be 3, which increases your chances of getting that hit result and turning into a critical. I've also decided to give Howlrunner, or not Wing Gundark, a hull upgrade to increase his hull value by 1, so he'll be able to take 1 extra hit point like all the other ties, only it'll be a hull upgrade, so he won't be protected from criticals, but again, he'll be this will ensure that he survives a little bit longer in the battle. And for the last pilot is a generic Obsidian Squadron pilot. He has a pilot skill of 3. He flies the Sinar Fleet System's TIE Fighter. He has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 3, a hull value of 3, and a shield value of 0. He can take on the Focus, Barrel Roll, and Evade actions. He costs 13 Squadron points. He's the cheapest ship next to the Academy pilot, and he cannot take any upgrades in his action bar. He's also a common pilot, so no abilities for this ship. And like with Night Beast and Dark Curse, I've given Obsidian Squadron pilot a shield upgrade, which will give him that 1 shield point, so that makes his hit point value 4. And that shield will protect him from that 1 critical hit that manages to slip by in case his agility value doesn't completely cancel out damage from the enemy. So, this is my Obsidian Squadron build. I'd say its biggest advantage is, again, strength in numbers. It's 5 TIE fighters, 4 of them being elite ships, all of them with a hull and a shield upgrade, which allows them to take that 1 extra hit in battle. All of their abilities help out with the offensive and defensive capabilities, except for Obsidian Pilot. Like, Howlrunner allows for any of her wingmates at range 1 to get that extra reroll. Dark Curse prevents rerolls and focuses from if he's defending. Gundark allows him to turn one of his hits into criticals, and Night Beast, performing a green maneuver, will get him that free focus, allowing him to do another barrel roll or evade action. And of course, with Howlrunner having swarm tactics, any one of these ships that are at range 1 of her will get the same pilot skill as Howlrunner, allowing for a second attack in a row. Its disadvantages, even though I have upgraded these TIEs with hull and shield upgrades, they are still very fragile ships. I mean, they're not quite as powerful as an X-wing. Like with the upgrades I've given them, I'd say they're about as powerful as they can. They're about on par with a Z95 or an HK290 or HWK Hawk 290. But ships like the X-wing and the Y-wing and the A-wing, they still outclass these ships. So if you're going up and also large ships that have non-directional firing power, that are firing arc will be extra even more dangerous for these ships. So if you're going to be attacking a ship with a non-directional arc like a cannon, then be sure to stay as far away from that ship as possible in order to gain that extra agility value, or hide behind an obstacle to gain an extra agility value, in order to ensure that these TIEs last long. Obsidian Squadron pilot is kind of not much of a loss because he's kind of a generic pilot, but the 4 elite pilots here, especially Howlrunner is kind of the game changer here. If she goes down, then the squadron cannot perform as efficiently as it could with her. So yeah, this is my Obsidian Squadron build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Any constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. If you like, you may use this build in any competitive or casual play, or if you like, you may completely tweak a little or completely revamp it to your own specifications. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Corbin22, signing off.